Hello, welcome back to my new video. Myself, Shrath, and we studying in Shrivenkeshwar College of Engineering. Today's topic is Principles of Programming using C. Introduction. Recursion and iteration are fundamental programming concepts. Recursion involves a function calling itself to solve a problem through a divide and conquer approach. In contrast, iteration employs loops to execute a set of instructions repeatedly. Both methods play a crucial role in algorithm design, offering distinct approaches to problem solving in programming. Recursion. Recursion is a programming concept where a function calls itself to solve a problem. Base case. Each recursive function should have a base case, a condition that stops the recursion. It defines the simplest scenario where the function returns a result without making further recursive calls. Divide and conquer. The problem is divided into subproblems of a same type. The function works on a smaller input and the results are combined to solve the original problem. Function call. The recursive function call itself with a modified and reduced input. The repetition continues until the base case is reached. Of each call, it's important to ensure that the recursion does not lead to stack overflow by reaching too deep. Example, deep factorial. If n is equals to 0 or n is equals to 1, return 1. Else return n into factorial n minus 1. Tail recursion, a special case where the recursive call is the last operation in the function. Some programming languages optimize tail recursive calls to improve efficiency. Readability. Recursion can provide elegant and concise solutions, but it may be challenging to understand for some developers. Proper documentation and clear base cases help enhance code readability. Risk of infinite recursion. Without a proper base case or termination condition, recursion can lead to infinite loops, causing the program to crash. Examples of recursive problems. Common examples include calculating factorials, Fibonacci sequence, traversing hierarchical structures like trees, and solving problems with a divide and conquer strategy. Iteration. Iteration is a fundamental concept in programming that involves repeating a specific set of instructions multiple times until a certain condition is met. In C programming language, there are three types of iteration statements for while, do while. In this blog post, we will discuss each type of iteration statement, the examples, and code. For loop. The for loop is used to execute a set of statements repeatedly for a fixed number of times. It consists of three types: initialization, condition, and increment, decrement. The syntax of the for loop is as follows. Condition. The initialization statement is executed only once at the beginning of the loop and it is used to initialize the loop variable. The condition statement is evaluated at the beginning of each iteration, and if it is true, the code inside the loop is executed. The increment decrement statement is executed at the end of each iteration and it is used to update the loop variable. While loop. The while loop is used to execute a set of statements repeatedly as long as a certain condition is true. The syntax of the while loop is as follows: while condition code to be executed. Condition. The condition is evaluated at the beginning of each iteration, and if it is true, the code inside the loop is executed. The loop continues until the condition becomes false. Do while loop. The do while loop is used to execute a set of statements repeatedly as long as a certain condition is true. The difference between the while loop and do while loop is that the do while loop executes the code inside the loop at least once before checking the condition. The syntax of the do while loop is as follows: do code to be executed and while condition. Conditions. The code inside the loop is executed first and then the condition is checked. If the condition is true, the loop continues, otherwise it terminates. Conclusion. In conclusion, both recursion and iteration are powerful programming techniques. Recursion offers elegance and simplicity but may lead to stack overflow in certain cases. Iteration, on the other hand, is often more memory efficient and suitable for large scale problems. Choosing between them depends on the specific problem and trade-offs in terms of readability and performance.